I'm here with Yujie Wang, and we're here to talk about the Visionaries and Ventures Convention, but also his startup. But before we jump into that, Yujie, it's great to see you.
Yes, can see you again. Yeah.
Tell me, what degree program are you in right now?
Yeah, I completed my Master in Design Engineering program. So it's a collaborative program in School of Engineering and School of Design at Harvard.
And why did you want to pursue a degree in design?
So I'm always interested in problem solving and also want to investigate why we solve the problem. So it's kind of the design and engineering are the two sides that always pursue impactful problem to solve and actually technical capacity to address it.
Given that knowledge that you now have, how does that incorporate into your startup?
So I'm building a health tech startup called Vocadian. We're building voice AI-based B2B software solutions to predict and manage worker fatigue, and we target high safety risk industry like trucking, mining, construction, aviation, healthcare. The goal is to empower safer, healthier, and more productive workforce in the workplace.
Empowering health is obviously very important, and your health tech product is doing just that to keep people safe. How did you think about approaching this problem?
Yes, originally 2 years ago, one of my friends actually had a car accident with a fatigued worker behind the wheel. That was a very transformative experience for me, as that's happening to my close connections in life, and that put me investigate fatigue risk management for the workforce. And I previously have experience also working in the supply chain industry, but this time I'm looking to more like frontline workers. And combined with some of my research experience in wearable computing, brain-computer interface, I work with a wide range of biosignals, trying to find solutions that can actually address the root cause instead of just some post-event insights or even real time. So we're trying to do this in a predictive and preventative way.
Predictive and preventative way of using data, leveraging the models that you're developing.
Yeah.
Tell me, what does success look like in the next 6 months?
Yeah, so we've already conducted several commercial pilots with our pilot customers in trucking and mining space. The success I look like is mostly in our target use case, like long distance trucking, long distance busing, or mining. There will be a reduction of the fatigue related incidents, reduction of the accidents, and potentially also by this we can saving life and reduce the injury cases in the workplace. At the same time, this also helps company to save a lot of monies in the accident, in terms of addressing accident and insurance side. That would be the success for how it looks like if in the next few months.
And obviously, this is a very deeply personal issue for you. You're personally connected to it with your story, and that motivates you. But you're also going to be facing challenges. I'm sure you've already faced challenges. Yeah. Can you tell us about some of those challenges?
Yeah. So one of the few challenges, like this is an industry where it's like a lot of our target industry are traditional industries, and they have their way of doing things and practice for decades. There's definitely when it comes to like adopting some new products, the challenge first is like how we can be part of the existing process without much disruption or or like even additional extra burden to put on the workers, because they're already doing like this labor intensive work. So we're trying to make the technology disappear as much as possible, become part of their routines and workflows. That's something like we in our mindset at the beginning. The other also, it actually involves a lot of stakeholder alignment on the incentive and interest. I see that varies across industries, across countries, where the worker fatigue risk actually become a priority for the company. It's not happen all the cases among this industry, and it's not always there's a existing metrics or quantifiable evidence that the company monitor to manage this risk. So yeah, there's a gap in terms of the vision, like we want to address this, but also the gap with the existing infrastructure and technology in place.
So I want to pick up on something you just mentioned. Mm-hmm. You're selling your product to a variety of industries. Mm-hmm. I imagine it's difficult for one person to learn about all those different industries.
Yeah.
So surely you're learning from other people in that. How do you connect with those people? What are those conversations like?
Yeah. So actually, at first few cases, thinking of is truck drivers. So actually, I drove to like truck stops in like the highway between Boston and New York and Connecticut. Several truck stops. I go to grocery stores to meet truck drivers in their workplace, because usually they're taking some rest, to learn about their daily life, and even like some of the motivations, like why they choose this occupation or the challenges they're facing. So yeah, I think those authentic conversations actually help a lot for me to understand what's actually happening at the forefront with what's happening like daily to the users. So I think for us, because we're actually addressing like problem for the companies, so there's two sides. We need to understand the frontline workers and their routines, the challenge of them, and also we want to understand on the company side what's the challenge from the managers, or how we can improve the process today. Sometimes there is a line. Sometimes there's also the gap. So those are the important parts that by like having conversations with each of them, this give us understanding on where our technology could situate, and also help us to understand who will be the ideal early adopters for this technology. Definitely it's an industry problem, and it's some things are systematic. It's hard for us to change those like fundamental things in the industry, but we see that what value we can actually add to the workers and to the companies at the same time. That is the alignment where we see. So yeah, these conversations helps a lot to formalize and also consolidate what's the product we deliver, how to deliver the technology we're building.
You're clearly a passionate founder. And I've spoken with several other startup founders who are very passionate about their business, but it's a challenging road. Yeah. And I think that startup founders are able to learn from each other and help each other along. So in the spirit of that, is there any advice or wisdom that you've received that you would share with other startup founders who might be watching?
Yeah, I think in the early stage, like team is very important. As I mentioned, like you can only do certain things as individual, but I think at the beginning, I have a very motivated and energetic team that we have an aligned vision. We have like problem ownership. I think this is important, especially in the early stage. Like people are coming to address this problem. There's certain like strong motivation to motivate them to keep doing that even when there's struggles, because it's a lot of challenges we face in the early stage startup. So yeah, I think the team definitely important, like how you build a strong team with alignment, and especially I look into like how like each team members or how they why this matter or this problem matters to them. Is there any like personal connection, and what they bring to the team? We have team members that have deep expertise in like addressing like certain technical challenges. We also have team members that have very broader connections in the industry and understand the problem really well. So I guess a balance of the generalist and or like expertise in the addressing the problem is also important. Yeah, I would say also like there are always gonna be risk. So understanding the risk and how everyone can what kind of level of risk everyone can take, and the right timing to bring people on board, even the right connection that can actually lead you to a lot of opportunities, which in this challenging journey that can support a lot. So yeah, it's part of it is like.
All right, so round 3 after the phone died. And of course, our prepared startup founder had a power block. Otherwise, the rest of this video wouldn't have happened. So always ready to go. So you were just wrapping up the advice that you would have for startup founders, and you were talking about risk. Is there anything else on risk that you wanted to share?
Next round. Yeah, I think on the risk side, I think because our industry will operate like it's there's a lot of regulations, so definitely be familiar with all those industry codes and regulations upfront, because a lot of the time if you're just building yourself without understanding the whole context and ecosystem, that would be a big challenge. So never just like building things, but always talk to customers, understanding the context, the legal, regulatory restrictions, and also in terms of the workflow, like and really understanding the user journey. That will give you a lot of insights on eventually how the product being built. And you're not just delivering technology, but delivering a way of working or a way of communication. And I would say also a risk for AI companies is like there's always uncertainty in terms of the AI model's performance. How would you communicate the liability side and uncertainty of the model? Especially on the liability, because the decision, like people are gonna making decision based on the output. So be aware of like how this decision, the model's output being communicated and interpreted in a way that is adaptive, is constructive, and is actionable to the customers. That is important. Yeah.
Liability, risk, legal things. Certainly, the Harvard Law Entrepreneurship Project loves talking about those things with startup founders. And then earlier you mentioned community and connection with your team.
Yeah.
We're hoping at the Visionaries and Ventures Convention that maybe some future co-founders will meet. Certainly fellow founders will meet. They'll be sharing wisdom with each other, talking about horror stories, but also success stories. And I think it'll be a really great time. But hope to see all of you there at the Four Seasons Boston, November 17th. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Yeah, thank you for the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to support all the founders here and build the future together.
Let's build a future together. All right. See you soon.